Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Wayne and I wanted to see if we could put together just a small, simple little digital clock in JavaScript with just a touch of HTML and CSS. Like I said, it's going to be very simple, probably less than maybe a dozen lines of code or so, thereabouts. If you want to follow along, please feel free to do so. It won't take us very long to do this. You do not need to download anything special. You don't need anything special to run it. Just use Notepad. I'm using Notepad++. It was a free download. As you can see on the screen in front of us, I have two screens. On the left side, I have a blank HTML page, and on the right side, I have my template that I always start all my HTML or all my JavaScript programming with so far. And I just created this little template to make it a little simpler for me to start. If you want to pause the program so you can type out this template, please feel free to do so, and we'll get started in just one moment. Okay, I hope you got that typed out okay. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the body. Like I said, it's going to be very simple, very short. I think in the body we only have 2 lines of code. We're going to call a div, open and close. It closes automatically for me. I don't need to do that, but if you need to, just go ahead and close it. Inside the div, we're going to call it h1. And inside the header, we're going to call paragraph. And inside the paragraph, we're going to give it an ID equals. And inside that, we'll call it date. Why not? And that's it. You'll notice that the header paragraph tag closed and the heading tag closed. And that's it for the div, for the body. So let's go ahead and move up to the top. Let's start with title. Let's give it a title. We'll call it digital clock. Call it anything you want, but that's what I'm going to call it. Simple enough. And let's go ahead and start with the script. Inside the script, we're going to have about 4 lines of code. It's not going to be much, but we're going to call a var. We'll call it my var equals set interval my timer. And we're going to give it 1,000 milliseconds. And if I have my math correct, 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second. So this clock is going to tick over every second. We're going to go ahead and call a function after that. The function we're going to call is my timer that we just created. Inside the function, we're going to call variable time equals new date. And under that, we're going to call the document. Document, make sure you spell this exactly. Get element by ID. Let's see, it's going to be date. Dot inner HTML equals time dot to locale. Is that locale or local? I'm not sure. Time string. And we're done with the scripting. And if everything went okay, we'll save it and refresh it. You can save it onto your desktop as an HTML document and then go to that and then right click it and open it with any browser. I already have mine open, so we'll just refresh and you'll see that it created the time in the upper left hand corner. So if we wanted to, we could finish here. We've done what we said we wanted to do. We've created a simple clock using JavaScript, and it was 4 lines of JavaScript and 2 lines of HTML. But it's kind of ugly, and I want to see if we can make it just a little bit better. So let's go ahead and see what we can do there. So we're going to go to Style. And the first thing we're going to do is adjust the body. So we'll go Body. We're going to go Background, Color, and we'll do black. And then we're going to do the foreground color, which in this case will be the text, and we just call color. And we'll do red. And if we did it correctly, it should change. Let's refresh. And there we go. And you can make it any color you want. If you want to make it red, make it red. You can make it, yellow, what have you. Let's see how it looks at yellow. Refresh. And it's yellow. We'll go ahead and leave it at that for now. But it still doesn't look all that great. I mean, it does look a little better than the plain black and white. Now it's, you know, black background and yellow lettering or yellow numbers. But let's see what we can do. I want to change the font size. It's a little small, so we're going to go change the font size. And let's do font size. And we're going to do 100 pixels. Now I don't know how big your screen is, but I'm doing 100 for mine. And let's save it and let's see if it looks any better. Okay, much bigger, easier to see. Now, it's not centered. It's not centered left to right, and it's not centered up and down. So let's go ahead and see what we can do about that. And we're going to call that div ID, or the div that we created earlier. And in that div, we're going to do text dash align. And we're going to align it in the center. And then we're going to give it a padding of 12%. Control S, save, refresh. And if I maximize my screen, it looks like it's centered left to right, up and down. Now, you may have to play with these two numbers right here, the 100% and the 12%, to center it on your screen. And also another thing, there are multiple ways to accomplish the same thing. There may be ways that you can call it to align center left and right or up and down. This is just the way. I've only had a few classes, so this is just the way we were shown in class. But it makes a simple little clock. It's kind of neat. I like it. Let's go back to red and see how that looks. Refresh. Pretty neat. Well, I hope you were able to follow along. I hope you were able to get it to work. It's just a neat, simple little clock, digital clock that we made in JavaScript. And we're going to go ahead and cut it here, and we'll come back later and see what else we can make. Take care, everybody.